Hello everyone, this is Forboding Angel. I'm going to cast a game that we played yesterday between myself, Ikinz, and MW Razorblade. So whenever this gets started going here, let me get my volume set a little bit so I don't drown everything out. Alrighty. And we're just getting everybody loaded in game here. And nope, apparently I don't remember the correct command. So, okay, we'll just sit here and wait for everybody to load in. Shouldn't be any big deal. And unfortunately, it's taking forever, so let's speed this up a bit. Now, okay, alrighty, so that was fun. Okay, we didn't miss much. Okay, we are playing this game in normal speed, which means that every unit, every building, its build time is set to its metal cost. So for example, a metal extractor costs 20 metal, so it would normally take 20 seconds to build. However, there's one caveat, and that is the fact that the Overseer has 2 times the build speed. Basically, it just means that the Overseer in particular builds twice as fast. Now, up here in the top right corner, we have myself. In the bottom right corner, we have Ikinz, and in the top left corner we have Razorblade. And it looks like everybody's getting set up. I just had added the new amphibious units in this version, so I wanted to give them a try. And this is a decent map for amphibious. It's nice and wide open. You've got plenty of space to move around. So the speed of the amphibious units really helps out here. Okay. And it looks like Ikinz is going for the Geo in the center, which on this gameplay speed is a bit risky actually, because it takes so long to get. If I were to realize what was going on, I would actually be able to just crush what's going on there, but it doesn't look like I'm going to figure it out anytime soon, even though I have a radar up, which does cover it, but let's see. Alright, and he finishes it. And I send my little scout up there and start killing his various stuffs. And actually, while I change a battery in my headphones, we're going to let Action Finder find all the action for us. There we go. If you haven't used Action Finder when spectating a game, I suggest you give it a try sometime. You can more or less leave it, and it'll find all the important bits for you. In fact, I have a video recorded on Twitch. Unfortunately, I can't put it on YouTube because there's some copyrighted music in the background. But it's a stream I did that was just me versus a survival AI, and using Action Finder to find all the action. And yep, actually did really, really well. So, as you can see, Ikinz is not in good shape. Not at all. He's getting these turrets up so he can kind of protect himself from any of my little forays into his territory. Of course, my little scout there isn't doing much. And Razorblade, on the other hand, is getting his economy rolling pretty good. He's starting to pump out firestorms, which will pretty much decimate bases. And here I've got a spitter rocket tank out. And what I'm trying to do is get it in range of these turrets, because they have an arc to them. And basically nothing but this rocket tank in the amphibious factory actually has a trajectory. So this is about the only unit I have to do this without going to a different kit. And right there I'm going to lose one. Unfortunate. Bad control by me. I should have had it on hold position. I'm going to lose this one too. There we go. Got that guy taken out, and now I can just keep attacking his overseer. Which, as you can see, it's not working out that well. Not really doing a whole lot. Of course, it is being annoying, so that helps a little bit, I suppose. But this is in a spot to where there's no way that I can take any of these ramps up to the center hill. That would be suicide. And he gets his turret done, but oh man, it's just on the edge of the range. That is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, so Razorblade is just sitting back, enjoying life, and not really doing anything. And being that I'm nice enough to completely ignore him, not to mention ignore the south down here, now I actually have this scout going to rejoin my army, and Ikinz is getting up a factory. And just got an orb, so now all his buildings can get healed over time. Not to mention his overseer, it got fairly beat up. Pretty much, so... Alright. And I'm trying to get my economy going. As you can see, I've got a lot of storage here, so I've got 550 energy banked there. Looks like everyone else is... Actually, Razorblade does have one energy storage here. Or, I'm sorry, not energy storage, just storage in general. And he is pumping out these firestorms. Now, these aren't good versus units. I mean, they're just not. So, if he runs up against my units, then that's going to give him a pretty bad time. So, here we go. I've got these guys sitting down here. I'm trying to figure out how to get up here. Ikinz is trying to figure out how to survive. And Razorblade is just saving up for retirement. He does see all this stuff in the middle, as do I. We have our radar towers, and you can actually see our edge of detection. There's a spot here we don't detect because of the terrain, and it looks like... Yeah, Razorblade can see everything in this area here. See, you can tell by the edges of here. It shows you the areas where you don't have radar coverage. So he can't see anything behind this hill back here except for my units here. Okay. And he's got some turrets up behind shields, which... Oh, there we go. I've just cranked out an assimilator. It's one of the new models here. And I'm hitting... I can see this turret. It's on the edge of my vision. And I'm taking it down. Unfortunately, without a Kmar there, there's not going to be anything that can do. In fact, he should cancel building it so he doesn't lose the money he's already put into it. But now he's moving out with his firestorm. And this is going to be a bad time for me if I do not get my army up here. However, I'm going to be there in plenty of time, and it looks like he's probably going to lose all of this. Except for, he's got lots of paralyzing damage, and unfortunately, it's just going to get steamrolled. Firestorms are great versus buildings, and are just not versus regular tanks. Unfortunate. And Ikinz is bringing his commander down. He's going to lose it. he doesn't get out of there, he's gonna lose it. No! I believe he probably forgot about it. He was trying to micro his sledgehammers. Of course, just plain sledge. And I'm in the process of trying to pump out these tanks, and I'm almost excessing. And in fact, this is really not smart by me. I'm spending just barely what I'm getting in. What I should have is several more orbs helping building, but at the moment I'm preoccupied with this, because from this position, I don't have a good answer to these sledge. And see, you can see the range that these sledges have. I mean, it's just huge. And conversely, you can see the range that my longest range unit has, the spitter, and it is not enough. So what I'm trying to do is dart in and get in positions, because I have trajectory on my side. He has to have direct line of sight to hit my tanks, so I can kind of dart in and out there, but not a whole lot that I can do. It looks like Razorblade's getting some jamming up, which is kind of good if he wants to stay out of these. Unfortunately, I've kind of forgot that these exist in my quest to keep from being overrun, because these sledge can really do a lot of damage to my base. So I've got to keep him busy. I'm trying to get this aircraft plant up. I can put out some gunships and take these out pretty easily, assuming that he doesn't build any anti-air, which right now he has none. Some of this stuff will shoot at air, but it won't necessarily do a good job of killing it. Okay, and looking at Razorblade, it looks like he's starting to pump out droplets. Razorblade's pretty new to the game, so if you're wondering why he's not building a whole lot of stuff, that's why. By the way, I ran across this interesting engine bug. That was fun. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but for whatever reason, 2 aircraft plants built in the exact same spot. I mean, that shouldn't be possible, but as you can see, here it is. So, there we go. I get one gunship out, and the thing is, I know I've got to keep it out of range if he has any AA, so I'm trying to micro it here and make sure it doesn't get over here. Unfortunately, in microing that, I'm also giving him time to put up his anti-air. And unfortunately, there goes the anti-air. It's got plenty of range to be able to hit my gunships. But I can use them defensively. Now, if he takes out this factory, that's not a huge deal. Especially if I'm able to get this tanks here. Now, the one thing I have going for myself is the fact that he's very low on energy, so he can't really get into a sustained fight with me right now. Alright. And it looks like Razorblade is just getting his perimeter going and pumping out droplets. Droplets are good, but unfortunately you can't just use droplets alone. They don't have the maneuverability you need in order to attack and run away with it. They have really long range, as you can see. They have this huge range, but they just don't have the mobility to be able to back it up, especially versus amphibious units, which are extremely fast. You could get away with it to some extent versus all-terrain, because all-terrain is slow, but in the end you'd still run into trouble because the droplets just aren't fast enough, just aren't maneuverable enough. You'd make him pay for it, but at the same time, in the end, you would end up losing a lot of your droplets, and that would be way too expensive. As you can see, droplets cost 32 metal. Sledges cost 34. But the thing that will most easily catch up to them is the Raider, and it only costs 22. And to make things worse, Raiders are fast enough that you can micro them around so that the droplet shots wouldn't necessarily hit if you were able to click and split, you know, fairly quickly. Okay, looks like I'm making sure that this hill is well guarded. Nothing's coming down that hill, especially my own units. And actually here you can see a nice shot of the new amphibious units. There's the Snake, and the Dicer Riot Tank, and there's the Razor, there's the Spitter. Unfortunately, you can't see the color variations all that well because the team colors on this map are pretty reddish, so you get a little bit of color. And here we go again. I'm trying to bomb this turret. I take out one of them and lose 2 bombers in the process, which at $40 or $40, 40 metal per bomber, not so great. I also don't have my factory rallied, which isn't going to do anyone any good. But at the same time, I'm forcing Ikinz to really put a lot of money into these turrets. And his income is, just these mexes here. He's done a good job of taking those mexes back there, but for whatever reason, I haven't spotted that yet. But he's got his sledges clumped here, and so that's going to allow my rocket tanks to do bad things to him. And he has these anvils here, which is extremely bad news for me, especially if he decides to directly attack this advanced generator, because there's no way I can take these out, even though Razors do tons of damage. Oh! And I managed to save it. If he had been able to shoot this advanced generator one more time, it would have died. That would have set me back significantly. I'm taking out some drones, and I'm also picking up these energy cores, getting myself a little extra cash on the side. Uh-oh. Looks like Razorblade decided to build some artillery. And that's bad news bears for Ikinz. Also bad for me is this advanced generator. At all. And there goes the artillery again. Right now it's not hitting anything too vital, but now he's got 2 artillery tanks out here, and this is going to really start doing a ton of damage. And in the meantime, I'm trying to get this turret up fast enough so that I can repel his sledges here. And there goes the artillery again. Not good. Not good at all. And especially this is going to kill this factory. And there goes the factory. Ikinz is in a pretty bad spot. He got stuck out on the island and nothing he could do. He knew that there wasn't much I could do to him because amphibious units mostly just have line of sight weapons. In fact, the artillery unit for amphibious is nothing but line of sight. You saw it earlier. It was the large blue beam. And this artillery is really going to town. He's only got 2 of them. And actually, I've got 2 artillery of my own out now. One that is strangely indecisive, apparently. And I've got 3 out so far. And at this point I'm thinking, well, why didn't I think about this before? And got 2 orbs that are trapped back here. And Ikinz is just taking it both ways. Every way possible. Alright, he does still have an engineer here though, so he could actually rebuild. However, I do believe he has resigned. Or if he hasn't, he is about to. And here's these droplets here. Unfortunately, see, this is what I'm talking about. Droplets, while they do extra damage to these crushers, they're not maneuverable enough. Now, the one thing nice about this setup here is he does have a shield here, but he also built his turret far enough away to the point to where any area of effect damage is going to hit that turret. So shield and spring do not stop area of effect. Alright. Now actually I'm sitting pretty good, all things considered. I don't have a whole lot, but I am able to push out units pretty quickly. About to lose some artillery there. There we go. And I'll move that out of the way. Okay, so there we go. And we have drone on drone action here. Always a good time. And Razorblade's getting out an aircraft plant and getting some wildcats going, which will be good for him because I have absolutely no anti-air whatsoever. And I'm taking out the rest of Razorblades. Or, I'm sorry, not Razorblade. Ikinz metal extractors. Okay, here comes the flight of gunships. This is going to do bad things to me. However, I do manage to get up one turret, looks like. And my turret's doing some work, but just lost the turret there. I'm about to lose an engineer, which is unfortunate because in normal mode they do take a while to build. At the same time, I'm invading Razorblade's base, which doesn't go over very well because I have absolutely no anti-air. And right here I'm trying to get rid of this fast gunship on this side. There we go. There it goes down. Sent another tank up here apparently. Not sure how intentional that was. I might have just not been paying attention. Happens. Now I'm going to send my overseer out to grab some more metal extractors. You can see my build key there. Trying not to go too far because I know those gunships are around. And I've got anti-air tanks moving up here. There they go. They should be able to take care of that. So I've effectively locked down his air control of this side. Alright, so I've got 3 new metal extractors, and I finally got smart and got some more orbs to help my building out. Looks like I'm going to send some drones in. And you can kind of see the economy of each of us here. Razorblade has, looks like 1.5 income. I have significantly more than that. I have 4 income. But he also hasn't even rebuilt his metal spots that he has close to himself. So he's kind of falling down on the job. he's got some artillery taking out some of my stuff. Now, I know that if he gets my storage over here, that's bad news for me. So there's no way I can let him get that. Taking out these drones that Ikinz had left over. There goes another metal extractor. Now he should be able to see this. He has a radar here. Yeah, he can see these. Possibly a bit too late. But I'm trying to take these out before they have a chance to shoot it at my storage over here. Because if they start hitting that, then I'm in bad shape. Luckily it started shooting at the advanced generator, and so none of these went down. They only have 1,200 hit points, so it would actually take 2 volleys, I believe, of artillery fire to take out. And he's going to shut down this real quick. And I'm sending my overseer to the middle here. Going to try to take a bit more territory here. I'm also sending an invasion force. He's got a gunship over here, which is bad because I have nothing over here to kill it. Keep my overseer selected. In the meantime, I have taken out his little base here, but I'm losing my overseer, and I apparently do not even realize it. So I'm trying to push up this hill here. However, I have no idea, and there I just lost my overseer. I have no idea what's on the other side of this hill. So just running up this hill, I could run into a whole bunch of turrets. No idea. Now, one thing Razorblade isn't doing is he is not assisting his factories. Of course, actually, I guess he's kind of pegged on resources, so he can't really. And at this point, I kind of poke up and have a look and see, okay, I can deal with this. That turret will do significantly bad things to me, so I've got to get out of range of it. And his overseer coming over here, he'll be able to EMP my units, which would be even worse. See, there's one EMP that goes off. All he's got to do is get one tank out, and he can get my entire army, basically for free. He's pulling my army in range of these, and now he's taking out my air, so there's no way that I can do anything with this army here. Which really hurts. I lost a lot of things there. However, I do have the economy to bring it back pretty quickly. Yeah, as you can see, I'm accessing. I'm trying to get up more of these advanced generators. I do not have enough build power on the map. And it doesn't help that I have 2 orbs stuck over here. Not sure why I decided to build something in that little thing and trap them in, but whatever, I'm sure it made sense at the time. Now I'm trying to get an aircraft plant up. Now, while Razorblade's in bad shape, he's technically not out of this. He could actually take these mech spots up here, and these ones up here. It's fairly likely that I probably... Yeah, I wouldn't even notice. In fact, all of my radars are down. I'm not even sure if I realize it. I do have a pretty decent sight range, pretty much in this area here. Might as well use this feature while I have it. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my sight range, so I can see pretty alright, but if he were to take this area up here and even forgo this spot right here, he could actually have, what, 2.5 more metal income from that, so yeah, that's Always try to be expanding in Evolution RTS if you can. Of course, you can see how well I follow that myself. I went here and stopped, but whatever. I have an excuse. He has artillery here. Although I'm not sure if I knew that at the time. But it does look like he's trying to get up these metal extractors here. In the meantime, I've actually put out a respectable army. Extremely respectable considering he doesn't really have any units. He does have these 3 turrets up here though, so if I try to come in from the south, I'll just get toasted pretty hard. It looks like I'm finally building more orbs so I can more easily assist my production here. Okay, and he's getting his metal extractors up here. I really should be having his overseer do this. However, his overseer is pretty damaged. Okay. Now, looks like I've got an aircraft engineer up here. I'm trying to take the center, which may or may not work, because, yeah, because gunships. However, I've got a nice army here. Unfortunately, once again, I have no anti-air with my army. He could actually get a lot of kills for free here, but unfortunately he throws his gunships directly into the anti-air. He could possibly take these out. Get that gunship out of there. Tries to take out the anti-air tank, and that does not work out. So, at this point, I've got a really beefy army. There's not a whole lot he can do about it at this point. And I finally got myself expanding, so better late than never, I guess. And I'm finally able to spend my money. I've probably leaked quite a bit of money so far. Now, getting up this hill is going to be a bit painful, but I've got enough units to the point to where it shouldn't be a big deal. Now, if he had his overseer over here, he would actually be able to just impede those units. And that would be bad news bears for me. But it looks like all my units are going to make it up there, and this is pretty much a good game at this point. It's a good thing for me that Ikinz tried to take that center, because Ikinz has a bad habit of beating me every time he plays, so it's nice to win for a change. But this gave me a chance to show off the new amphibious unit model, and also to show a game played on normal gameplay speed. We don't use this mode very often. You can actually change it in the options. You just in the lobby, you just click the little wrench above where the mini-map is displayed in the battle, and it'll show the options there. It's in one of the headings there. It'll say gameplay speed. And the normal mode is faster. And there we go. And here we can see, let's see, metal used. Yeah, I used almost double what Razorblade did. I produced quite a bit more. I'm sure I excessed a ton. Let's see. Actually, I only excessed 457, which doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind, we were in normal mode. And so 457 metal is a ton. 565, I imagine the reason he was accessing that was because he had no way to spend it down. He would have had more income than build power at that point, because I believe he only had his overseer and a single engineer. And in normal mode, if you have any decent income at all, like say 3 or 4 mexes, there's no way you're going to be able to spend that down. So now energy used is always okay, 14.1 thousand. Energy excess 35.3k. Wow, that is a ton. Which actually, for both of us here, a smart use would have been to build what are they called? Metal makers. And so that way your excess energy isn't wasted like this. Like 35.3 thousand, that's... Oh, I'd have to pull out a calculator to pull out the metal. That's a lot of metal, though. So, now, of course, you're going to have probably several thousand waste anyway, just because there's no way you can get metal makers up early on in the game. I mean, you just don't have the money to spend on it, because they do take a little while to make their cost back. But on the other hand, when you have yourself established and you're okay, you know, it's always a good idea to try to get as much money as you can. And if you can't expand and you have more energy income than is going out, the metal makers usually aren't a particularly bad idea. Basically, the more metal makers you get, the more money you get, the more engineers and build power you can build, the more energy you can build. You know, it ends up being a cycle. You know, you can just keep on expanding, make your economy bigger and bigger. So anyway, that was Evolution RTS in normal mode between myself, Forboding, Angel, Ikinz, and MW Razorblade. Thanks for watching, and